Hello, and welcome to Cedarcrest Manor at 813 South 4th. We're here in Clarksville, Missouri, right here on the Mississippi River. And this is the oldest house that I've featured on this channel. It was built in 1842 for a Captain Benjamin Clifford, who was a Mississippi River steamboat captain. And hence Clarksville being a good location for it. And as you can see panning down, we're on a large hill, which way down there behind the trees overlooks the Mississippi River. Looking at the house itself, very typical of French colonial architecture at this time. The side walls with fireplaces built into each side wall. And then a symmetrical front. So, French style, at this era, you have more a plainer style of window with shutters on either side, rather than some of the Italianate architecture, which would have come maybe 20 years later. So, very formal, almost looks of a style even a little older than what it is. You have a two-story gallery or double balcony on the front, and a large window here, which no doubt the large windows around the doors would have originally opened to allow ventilation through. This house was built on a central hall plan. So as it originally, air would flow through front to back. And in this reception, it's very typical of this era of home, with a graceful curving staircase. One of my favorite design features is the way that they get this arc of the top stairs as they curve around. Coming through, we are into one of the two reception rooms on the first floor. These rooms are very large. As you can tell, there's a piano in here, which does not take up the entire room by any stretch. Period sofa. And again, lots of shade from these trees, which is great on a 100-degree day like today. Very large mantelpiece and fireplace. Probably originally used for heating. Thankfully, we now have other methods. Coming through into the dining room here. This room is actually larger than living room. Has a built-in row of cabinets at the rear and opens both into the living room as we saw with the transom above, and also out into this central hall. Now, the style of this with these windows that open into it and the exposed brick lead me to think that this likely would have originally been an exterior space, or an interior-exterior space, if you will. We have here commercial kitchen. And the original kitchen in a house like this would likely have been built outside. It would have been a separate structure and somewhere else on the property. Back in the 1840s, we didn't have firefighters to the same degree we do now. And if there was a fire, it would be helpful that just a kitchen burned down rather than the whole house. This property is now run as a bed and breakfast, and has all of the rooms have been furnished to a high standard. Period furniture. And these rooms are much larger than their square dimensions and high ceilings lead you to believe. It's one of the tricks of high ceilings is that they can sometimes make a room feel smaller than it actually is. But they're great for ventilation. Coming through into the bathroom here, we have a jet tub for 2 persons, double vanity, and a walk-in shower. Helpfully, this room is actually on the main floor too, so that's helpful for accessibility. And we have another room here on the main floor. We're coming back into the front portion of the house. And this may well have been originally another reception room, a formal parlor or an informal parlor, if you will. You can see it's symmetrical to the living room on the other side. And you can see the detail of the window. Obviously, the windows have been replaced. It's rare to have windows last, what is this, 180 years now, I believe? My math isn't letting me down. This bathroom, again, double jet tub with a shower head, or shower installed. Double vanity. All this nice millwork you can see around here. Journeying upstairs. So as we climb these stairs, take a look at this curve that we have at the top, how the plaster wall gracefully wraps around along with the staircase. Second hallway here. We have the upper balcony. Again, looking out. Probably a few less tree branches in the wintertime. You can see Mississippi River down there. This is a nice space. You have this room, which is above the living room here. And again, quite symmetrical to it. Similar fireplace, which is one of the benefits of this style. A lot of other styles that the chimneys weren't integrated into the walls as such, but again, gives a sleeker look on the outside, which no one really cared about in the 1840s, but still. Jet tub. Double vanity. All right. And we have the other room across the hall. And as I said, possibly originally these were the original rooms for the owners. And this room is identical in size and shape to the one below, and with the same high ceilings as well. And this one has a great view. And coming through. So we have hardwood flooring throughout. Most of it looks like it's either restored wood or newer wood. There's some places where I can see what looks like it probably was the original wood underneath. But oftentimes, again, these would have been service floors, so they would have seen pretty hard use. Here we are on the second floor of the rear hallway. We have a little reading area here. bedroom. Bathroom. So I'm always curious to think of how these rooms would have been laid out before, because in many of these homes, as they've been restored, the original use of the rear rooms has been changed over the decades and indeed centuries. And we have a room here which is on top, which is above the room below. Looking out onto the rear upper porch. The bathroom addition here. And then we have the upper porch. The patio here. And then we'll take a look back down at the pool. Now we'll exit through. Beautiful glass door here. And we have the rear covered patio. Area for guest arrivals. And then we come through into a hidden formal garden. Water fountain. And of course, swimming pool. As we stand here, you can see the original layout of the house and how we have the first portion there, and then the next part built after that. And then I'll just come back and we'll get a view of the rear of the building and the rear grounds. Wonderful to have so much shade as we do here on a day like today. Alrighty. And coming back to look at the property, at the house from here, I wanted to be able to zoom in here so you could see the roof. We do have a shake shingle roof on this house, which would have been typical of the era. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this property. It's really awesome that we can see homes like this that have been preserved and being able to be used again so that they can keep alive for hopefully another 180 or more years. Thank you very much, and please remember to like and subscribe.